About 4 hours or so, Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga will announce the national results for the Matric class of 2020. It has undoubtedly been a taxing year for pupils and teachers, having to adapt to a new way of learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, eNCA's Sekgo is keeping an eye on that one for us, and she will be at that announcement. Sekgo, yes, just about 4 hours or so, if I'm correct, that this is going to happen at around 4 p.m. So a few more hours for these pupils to wait for those results. What are we expecting?
Absolutely, Yuveka, and as you can see that the setup has really started here at GCIS. We can definitely expect the Minister to be speaking at 4 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, the Director General, Matanzima Mweli, he will be giving his technical briefing. Last year's results, Yuveka, were at about 82.3%, and of course we are then waiting to hear how this class has performed. Just some interesting facts, Yuveka, about the class of 2020. Besides them being the first cohort to actually write their exams under COVID-19. They are also the first, they were in grade 1 actually in 2009 when the Department of Basic Education was actually formed, when it was then split into higher education and basic education. That is of course the class of 2020, which then means that the Minister has actually seen them through from grade 1 all the way to grade 12 now, and they've actually gone through all her processes and decision making within the Department of Basic Education. So we'll just now wait to see how well they have done, but we do know that when we have spoken to the department and to the DG specifically, he has said that this is probably the strongest class that he has actually seen, and he's quite impressed with how they were very determined to ensure that they get their learning done, especially under COVID-19.
Well, Sekgo, we know that Umalusi has given these results the all clear, but we also saw criticism from the likes of, for example, Panyaza Lesufi saying that, how can we have the same expectations of the class of 2020? And like we've been saying, they've done this under the most extreme conditions, unexpected as well. Never before have we had to deal with something the likes of this. So just give us an idea, though, of the feeling out there when it comes to, yes, exactly, with Umalusi giving it the all clear, but also that this is an unprecedented sort of kind of result that we will see.
Absolutely, it is quite unprecedented, but we do know that majority of the subjects from Umalusi were actually kept as raw marks. So the raw marks were used from the particular learner. So that is what we also need to keep in mind, Yubi, when we receive these particular results later this afternoon from the Basic Education Minister. But Yubi, just to give us a quick breakdown as to how things are going today and what difference they actually have made, because we do know that they usually have about 1,000 people in a hall. But just to give us a breakdown of what the difference is this year, I'm joined by the department's Elijah Mhlanga. Elijah, thank you so much for your time. Just let us know, of course, we do know that there's now a huge difference from what we usually see every year. Yeah. Break it down for us, what you have done and what you are hoping for this year.
Thank you so much. Well, this year we are doing things differently indeed. We usually have an event of about 700 to 800 people in one venue. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are not able to do that. So what we've done is to organize different sites, all provinces organizing events. We'll be linking to them, and we want to keep everyone connected to the main event, and while adhering to social distancing protocols in here. That's why you see it's a small venue. Every seat is 2 meters from the other one, and it's a small group of people that are coming here. Unfortunately, this is what we need to do due to the conditions that we are living under right now.
And just briefly, you did travel with the DG when you went to the various camps, Matric camps. From those travels and from those visits, what do you take from that, and what have you gotten from the class of 2020 from that?
Well, we were motivated because we saw that the learners were understanding that the situation is difficult. The exams, they were uncertain at some point, and they were not sure themselves. So they really needed that reassurance from the authorities that indeed things were going to be fine. And we were inspired to see that they were getting that message and actually learning 7 days a week, preparing for the exam, understanding that they had lost about 47 days in the early part of the year due to the lockdown. But we're here now, they were able to write the exam, and I think the anxiety is even more pronounced this time because of the context from which we come. due to COVID and uncertainty. Some people saying let's scrap the school year and all of that. But we're able to go through the examination. So all of that work that went in, the outcome will be unveiled today by the minister this afternoon.
And just what difference will you make for the class of 2021? We do know that they, of course, weren't able to finish their curriculum in grade 11. So for the matric class of 2021, what difference can they find out? Will they be able to actually complete this year?
Yeah, that's it's a trick question because the grade 12 of 2021 are grade 11s of 2020, and the grade 11s of 2020 did not finish their curriculum, which means before they start this year, they must catch up from last year's work. So schools are having to work very hard to try to compress all that work into the available time. But we learned some valuable lessons last year. We learned that we need to value every second, every minute, every day, every week, because if you don't do that and you're forced to close even for a week, you lose much more than that. Psychologically, academically as well, and in other ways. So we have said to schools, please work very hard. And we are pleased to announce that some schools already this past weekend, being the first week back in school, they've already started their weekend program, which means they want to try catch up on the work that was not completed when they were in grade 11 last year, so that they can get in earnest to the work of grade 12 this year. Of course, there's not much of a difference between grade 11 and 12, but still, there's a set work that needs to be completed. So we hope they will be able to do that. As you know, we've had to revise the school calendar again for 2021. So all of that has helped us to try to recover some of the time that we've lost.
And just quickly then, your message to the class of 2020.
Well, class of 2020, well done. Just relax. There's not much that you can do now. Your results are already out. In fact, they're already en route to the school where you wrote your exams. So tomorrow you can go collect. Just today, listen to the minister, what she says about you. There will be some interesting things that she's going to say. So please listen carefully. But also tomorrow when you get your results, study them carefully. Look at what they say. If you're not happy, take advice. Re-register for rewrite, which is happening in May and June, or apply for a remark or recheck of your script. All of those options are available. The deadline is the 26th of March. So make sure that you calm down, breathe, look at your results. If you have passed, well done to you. If not, then talk to someone at school. They will be able to give you good advice.
All right, thank you so much, Elijah Motshekga. He's from the Department of Basic Education. And Viveka, it seems there is definitely all systems go for this afternoon.
And I think a much easier attitude than previous years is what we need to have towards these kids who've had it difficult enough already. Well, we'll continue to keep an eye on that story. The big announcement happening at around 4 o'clock this afternoon.